Hi, my name is Amy and I'm Michaela's mom, and today I'm going to show you how to can sauerkraut. You just need a few ingredients to do this. You need either spring water, distilled water, or if you have a well, you can use well water. You just don't want to use tap water as it has chlorine in it, and that's not good for the sauerkraut. You also need distilled vinegar, and you need non-iodized salt. You'll need some wide mouth mason jars and the rings and lids, and of course you need cabbage. When you get your cabbage, you want to take off the darker green leaves. A lot of people like to have pure white sauerkraut. I usually leave some of the green leaves on, not the dark ones, but mine isn't really pure white, but it tastes great. So once you take those off, you start chopping your cabbage. Okay, make sure that you wash your cabbage really good. It's kind of compact, but wash it. And as I said before, remove the darker leaves. I usually cut smaller pieces, and I like to chop my cabbage by hand with my hand chopper. You can do this in a food processor, but you can control how big the pieces are when you're hand chopping. I don't like to get my cabbage the consistency of slaw. I like it a little bit thicker. So I'll put a few pieces in there at a time, and I will chop that. Let me show you about how big. I like to get it about this consistency, maybe a little bigger. And then you're going to take the chopped cabbage and we're going to stuff this in our mason jars. Now that we have all of our cabbage chopped, we're going to start putting it in our wide mouth mason jars. We're going to fill it as full as we can, and we're going to pack it in with our pestle here. This is very handy. It helps us get as much as we can in the jars. And you can see the consistency again here of my kraut. I didn't make it too fine. I want it to be a little bigger pieces. And you just mash down.
So how long have you been canning?
Well, I've been doing this by myself with the help of my dad for maybe about 5 years. I used to help a little bit as a child with my mother, but not very much. But I've learned how to do it by myself just in recent years.
And who taught you how to can?
I got most of my recipes from my Aunt Wanda. I had to call her to see, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? And she's given me the breakdown of everything. And my grandmother and mom before her, you know, they canned. Okay, now that we have this stuffed in here, we'll fill it up about to the neck of the jar. And I went ahead and poured my distilled vinegar and my salt in a bowl. Makes it just a little bit easier instead of trying to pour it in this little spoon and spilling it everywhere. So you put a teaspoon of non-iodized salt and a teaspoon of the distilled vinegar in there. And then you're going to pour your spring or distilled water, whatever you boiled, and I just had this boiling, it just stopped boiling. But you're going to pour that into your quart jar, and you want that to go up about to the neck. So there's no real cooking. All you do is boil the water and pour it in. It's super easy. As you can see, it's creeping down through there. Okay, I'm about up to the neck. And then we're going to put our lids on the top. But before you put your lids on, you want to drop them down in some boiling water for a few seconds. And then take them out and lay it on. And now I'm just going to boil the water and fix my lids. Once you've boiled your lids for a little while, you're going to put them on top of your quart jars. But the first thing you want to do is take a paper towel and wipe off the edges of the jar. You don't want any food on there. So these have been in boiling water for maybe 10 to 15 seconds, just enough to sterilize them a little bit. And you're going to lay them on top of here. It's hot. It's going to be pretty hot, so be careful. Then you're going to take your rings, which we've already washed in the dishwasher, and you're going to put these on the jar, and you're not going to tighten it down very tight. You're going to loosely put them on there. The reason we're doing this is these are going to sit for about 9 days, and they're going to ferment. You're going to put these in a cool, dark place, and I would put some newspapers under it, and they're going to bubble and ferment a little, and you don't want the lids too tight. After the 9 days, you're going to tighten down the lids pretty tight, and then this is going to sit for 4 to 6 weeks to finish fermenting. So keep it in a cool, dark place during those 4 to 6 weeks.
So what are your favorite things to eat sauerkraut with?
Oh, we have a great recipe that we use sauerkraut in that we call poor man's pierogies, which a friend of mine whose family was from Poland brought over, and it includes some kluski noodles and bacon and sauerkraut, and it has cottage cheese in it. It sounds a little weird, but it's great. We love to eat sauerkraut with bratwurst. It's great on your hot dogs, but this sauerkraut is better than any that you can buy in a can. We just wanted to show you, this is some sauerkraut we made this summer. So you can tell it turns a little different color than the one we just did today. So it's gonna get a little more yellow to it. Now these are some other things that we've canned this last summer. We do pickled green beans, which are fabulous. We do regular green beans, we just can these. We can dill pickles. We do a lot of salsa, hot and medium, lots of salsa, we love that. We make muscadine jelly. My sister has many muscadine vines, which are wonderful, and this jelly is fabulous, makes the greatest peanut butter and jelly sandwich ever. And we also have my favorite, canned tomatoes. This is probably what we eat the most of. But the canned tomatoes are just wonderful, better than any can of tomatoes that you can buy in the store. Thank you so much for letting us show you our tradition of canning. We love to can together, we love the food, and it's been something that our family has done for a long time, and we're hoping that other people will start to do this.